My name is Dan McCoach. I'm the leader of Celent's North America Life, Annuity and Health Practice. Fairly new with Celent, started in February. Before that, I was the CIO for Nassau Financial Group, and most of my career before that with PwC and other advisory firms, all in the insurance space. Life insurers face a variety of challenges with respect to the customer's experience. First, these are highly regulated products, and that means that with respect to application forms and things like that, variations on a state-by-state basis can make it a real challenge to provide a consistent and seamless experience for the customer. Second, these products are complex, and that means that the requirements to understand them, the explanation of them, the distribution of them, the organizations that support them reflect that complexity. And insurance companies must address these things in order to improve the customer's experience, especially during the acquisition process. That's a great question. It's a real challenge for life insurance companies, and I think they're doing the right things out of the gate. The past year has seen insurance companies take an earnest point of view, an honest point of view, to put themselves in their customers' shoes, to understand what the experience is like, for example, to apply and acquire a life insurance policy. And so having done that, they are automating or adding digital technologies to that process to make it as seamless as possible. For example, many carriers are improving the application process itself to make that experience more user-friendly, to try to sequence the questions in a manner that makes it as easy as possible and as straightforward as possible for applicants for these products. Secondly, once the application has been completed, accelerated underwriting, which are technologies applied to the decision process, have been dramatically improving, such that fewer intrusive kinds of techniques are required, like acquiring fluids or putting someone through an actual physical when they apply for a life insurance process. All of these things are adding up in conjunction with an improvement of the agent's view of that process to a better experience for the buyer. Also a great question, and it's a tough question. However, I think the good news is there are many other industries who have done the trailblazing. And really what it's all about for companies who have sort of created a secret sauce, it's about how they engage their customers. And usually the technique is to have the customer enjoy some aspect of value that is not entirely about the product or the specifics of the product. It's about the joy or the sense of community or ethos, if you will, that one gets by enjoying a certain brand. So if I were to talk about Peloton, for example, many people enjoy the experience so much that they make it a part of their everyday life because the experience is about what comes through the process. The sense of digital community, enjoying a ride in a virtual sense, having a coach online, all of these things are not necessarily about the bicycle, but they're very much about the experience. And insurance companies have to look to examples like that to think about how they can create that kind of value for their customers. That's a fascinating question, and that is the probably trillion-dollar question, given, frankly, the underprotected size of the market in the U.S. And I think it's probably about creating a value proposition that gets at some of the sense of engagement that I explained with respect to, for example, the Peloton example. So insurers very much have to think about from a strategic perspective, what is our reason for being in business? What are our values? How do we translate those values into something we want the customer to enjoy? So for example, I think one of the clear examples in the industry is John Hancock's Vitality platform is an extension of their values, which is they want to have a vested interest in the health, wellness, overall well-being of their customers, and the Vitality platform gives them an opportunity to engage their customers on those aspects of their lives, making a real difference from an engagement perspective. You know, the good news is that the technologies that are impactful are at insurance companies' disposal today. And so the focus on automating the processes, existing processes today with such things as chat technology, integration tools, automated workflows, rules that make dynamic decisions about where the applicant is in the process, all of these are, again, readily available and make the experience a much better one for the consumer. I think on the vanguard of newer technologies, however, might be tools that do analytics on the actual experience, understand and grab information from a digital perspective on where perhaps someone might be hesitating in the process, and then automatically providing some kind of an intervention to try to support the applicant to keep them moving through the process. So some of the analytics and proactive intervention technologies might be a bit more on the vanguard. But again, the good news is most of the technologies are available to insurance companies today. Great question, and I think what I'd have to say might be slightly provocative. Perhaps insurance companies could innovate more, could be less risk averse, could think about how to create entities or perhaps separate entities that are charged with a brand and a platform designed for entrepreneurial risk, so that they get a sense of what's required from an experimental perspective to provide the kinds of experiences that are probably all about how insurance will be sold tomorrow.